Welcome, North Texas business owners. It's Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates and Jenny Swain, our CFO, in the studio for Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Jenny, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Did you get any damage this last week? Man, this Tuesday was Super Tuesday.
It was tough.
Not to get political, but the weather was crazy.
Yeah, my entire family downstairs at 5:50 with the sirens going off, trying to decide if we were going to go to the laundry room or not.
We've talked, so I know that there's no damage on your house or cars, right?
No.
I had no damage in Prosper, and you live in Frisco.
That's right.
I live in Prosper, no damage, but right in Salina, there were devastation in Salina and just north of Salina, Cook County. Yeah. For those of you out there, we're a Christian firm. We sell companies for a living. We've been around 15 years, and I just like to say a quick prayer for people that there's still 400,000 people without power. Isn't that crazy?
That is
maybe
crazy.
It's been restored now. It's Sunday, but I know during last week, all week long, from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hundreds of thousands of North Texans didn't have power.
Yeah.
For those of you, we've been praying for you at the firm, and I'm going to take it up kind of high right now and talk about why, as a business owner, you want to listen to this program. Okay. We're on week number 13 of 26 weeks, going through my brand new book, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I wrote it last summer for business owners that are approaching retirement age, Jenny, and they don't know the process, fee structure, what questions to ask an M&A advisory firm or business brokerage. Why would you even want to use a business broker? We're now all the way in chapter 13, titled Lawyers, Deal Makers versus Deal Breakers. Before we get into that, let's talk about the stats. Do you remember them?
I don't remember the exact numbers.
77 million baby boomers in the United States. 77 million baby boomers.
Should I take notes?
No, you don't have to take notes.
Okay.
You don't have to take. You've heard this a few times by now.
Okay.
77 million baby boomers in the United States. That's you guys. You're my superheroes. I'm actually writing a second book called 4 Quarters, The Psychology of the M&A Transaction. I am in chapter 3, but the first chapter is called My Superheroes, the business owners.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you guys are busy. You guys are my superheroes. 77 million in the United States. You guys own 40% of all small businesses in America. And that represents, Jenny, I know you remember the value. What's the value of that?
I don't remember.
$10 trillion in value.
Okay.
Over the next 10, 15, 20 years, they're going to be transferred to somebody. If you're a business owner, you're approaching retirement age right out of the gate. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a complimentary copy of the entire book. This will teach you how to increase value in your own company. If you're approaching retirement age, have even had an inkling of a thought about selling, I'm going to give you my direct mobile phone right now. Get your pens ready. I want you to text me your name, your business type, and kind of a little bit about you, and I will get you a complimentary free book in your hand signed by me called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Here it comes. My direct mobile phone is 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. I got to tell you, we've talked to over 30 business owners off the radio so far in 12 weeks. Right. This is our 13th week. We've actually listed 3. We're about to list our 4th company. We've sold 2 of those companies in the first 2 to 4 weeks of listing. Okay. In other words, we have offers. We're going into due diligence in the next month. They should be closed June 1 and July 1, respectively. So our first 2. Now, that's quick. It doesn't always happen that quick. But before we go into that, let's talk about I'm going to give a synopsis. I'm going to try to. Of the book, meaning the week 1, we introduced our championship deal team. Why do we call it championship deal team? Because we signed 2 Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys, Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White, as ambassadors and partners of our firm. So they're doing some spokesperson stuff. They're coming alongside us. We did 4 video vignettes that are on our website at sellmycompanynow.com. That's our corporate website at MDR Associates is sellmycompanynow.com. Click on the top where it says Championship Ambassadors, and you'll see 4 video vignettes, kind of like a 30 by 30 ESPN shoot. With Ed Too Tall and Randy, and they're really comparing business with winning Super Bowls. Right. Because the truth is, like these 2 business owners off the radio that engaged with our firm, signed an engagement letter, got going. We did the 4K video. You did the marketing package that are now getting offers. One of them 77 years old. We met today, had a great buyer-seller meeting today. Yeah. Right? Client service business. And he promised you when we hand him that multi-million-dollar, over 7-figure paycheck for building this thing for 38 years here in Dallas, right? We hand him that paycheck. He's going to feel like he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And just like Ed and Randy were winning Super Bowls, they also own businesses after their career was over. It's all on the website at sellmycompanynow.com. So, again, one last time before we dive into lawyers, Chapter 12, lawyers, deal makers versus deal breakers. If you're a business owner, you're driving around, this is starting to make sense. We're a Christian firm. That just means we won't do a deal with you unless it's a win-win-win. Win for the seller, our seller, because that's who we represent, our fiduciary responsibility. We're sell-side advisory. We're going to maximize value. We are going to minimize risk by keeping it confidential. If you would like a complimentary copy of the book, just to get to know each other, give me your name, your business type, a little bit about you. Just text it over to me on my direct cell phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Before we go further, do we need to have a description of why Scooby-Doo came in the studio last week?
I'm not sure. I think Scooby-Doo might need to stay last week.
That was a ridiculous radio show last week. I want to formally and publicly apologize for Scooby-Doo coming out last week. I'm not going to do it anymore on this show because that was enough last week. I don't want it to bleed into this week with Scooby-Doo.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
It was stupid is what it was.
It was funny.
I'm so stupid.
Now everyone's who didn't hear it, they're going to go back and listen to it.
They'll probably go back and listen to the last radio show on my website. It's also on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you can look under Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. You'll see our 8 podcasts. We actually shot number 9, how we give back.
Right.
Remind me at the end of the show. I want to talk about giving back and what we do on every transaction that we are successful with.
Okay. Now, just a second ago, you said you wanted to give a quick synopsis of the whole book, but we only got to the very first chapter. So do you want to run through it?
Folks, she keeps me in line.
Making sure there's no gaps.
Online. Christy does that at home.
No gaps.
Jenny does that at work. Here we go. So from beginning to end of the book, we start with discovery meeting. The first chapter is called Stop Making the Donuts. Wouldn't you love to stop making the donuts? Slow down, smell the roses, go fishing, go travel with the wife, husband.
Right.
I mean, business owners they work hard. This guy's been building this business for 38 years.
That's right.
His wife today in the meeting, buyer-seller meeting, said, I want to go to Italy.
Yeah.
She said, take me to Italy. Let's get this thing done, she said, right in front of the buyer. It was awesome.
Yeah. She's got her passport ready.
Right. So we start with Stop Making the Donuts because it's really all about, visualizing selling your company for maximum value. Chapter 2, timing is everything. We go through whether you're emotionally ready and, more importantly, and just as important, are you financially ready, right, Jenny?
Right.
We clean up financials. That's why you're at our firm as our chief financial officer. You'll help any business owner. If your financials need a little cleanup, MDR Associates can do that. Chapter 3, don't do it alone. It's a warning chapter. Whatever you do, hire another firm. Don't hire our firm. Hire another firm, but do not do it alone. The statistics are startling. 6% opportunity and statistic on getting it successfully done yourself, and over 90% with our firm at MDR Associates. Chapter 4, selecting the right M&A firm. I go into questions. What questions? Like how many businesses did you sell last year? How many businesses have you sold in the history of your firm? What type of businesses? We go into selecting the right M&A firm. Then we move on to put your buyer hat on in the book. Put your buyer hat on. Take off your seller hat. What does a buyer want to see? We go over the 15 ways you can increase value, and also, unfortunately, the 15 ways you can decrease value in a business, those levers you can pull. And then after that, we go into Chapter 6, surround yourself with experts. It's all about a team. We have a championship deal team at MDR Associates. We've got myself. Jenny Swain is our CFO. Todd Hutchinson's my VP of Exit Strategy, my right hand. Mike Mayer just came on as the Fort Worth Managing Director. We've got Tom Lociato that does the incredible 4K HD videos. That's been a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about that in this chapter. The HD videos, the emotional aspect of the business is showcased.
And nothing would happen without Vanessa.
Nothing happens without Vanessa. She runs the process from A to Z. Vanessa, we love you. And so do my clients. Chapter 7, our 10-step unique process has been chiseled over 15 years and almost 230 transactions. Chapter 8, the art of finding the perfect buyer. There is an art to it, ready, willing, and able. We met 2 of them today. We're going to get 2 offers tomorrow on the appliance service.
Right.
Chapter 9, where the magic happens, happen today. The magic either happens in the boardroom when we introduce buyers and sellers or it doesn't. We have a pretty impressive office in Frisco, I think. I mean, we get compliments on it all the time.
Right.
It's kind of, they say, oh, it's so big time. We wanted just to present presentation's everything. And when we bring in a buyer, we want the seller to have that home court advantage. Chapter 10, negotiating the letter of intent. We went into all of how we negotiate the best offer. Chapter 11, last week, we went into due diligence.
Yep, navigating the landmines.
Due diligence, navigating all I think that's where we earn our fee, from offer to close, because they die 2, 3, 4, 5 times. These are not real estate transactions, folks. You need a team of people, including accountants, that will minimize tax. One of the greatest services we offer is we'll bring in an accountant to minimize the tax for our sellers. And finally, we're at chapter 12. That gets us up to speed. Lawyers, deal makers versus deal breakers. What do I mean by that? How many of you, lawyers in general, love all you guys. You guys are great. But like any profession, there's guys that are only interested in the almighty buck, almighty dollar. And then there's guys that I tend to go alongside, and they're on my team, and they care about the seller. They care about our business owner. They are absolute professionals. Right. And their job is to make sure they dot the I's and cross the T's. Once we have an offer and we're through the contingencies, they come on board and start transferring. They start to build or review or design the asset purchase agreement or the stock purchase agreement, the document that actually sells your business, transfers your business from you to a new entity. There's an asset transaction, and there's a stock transaction. We're closing a stock transaction on Monday, another landscape company. And I'll go into those two in just a second. But let's talk about the two type of lawyers, right? There's deal makers and deal breakers. What do I mean by that? Lawyers traditionally from school are trained to look at precedent, and they're almost trained to pick fight. Some of them come out of there picking, in my opinion, I've seen it, drawing lines in the sand and picking fights. Those are not lawyers that can work with MDR Associates. Those particular lawyers that want to take over the deal, draw a line in the sand and say, you're going to come here or else there's no deal. They don't understand their role.
Right.
Ask me what I mean about that.
What do you mean about that, Michael?
I mean that I've had horror stories of meeting a client, working on a deal for 12 months, a year, introducing them to a lawyer I thought was a deal maker that was really a deal breaker, and them immediately upon signing their engagement letter take over the deal.
Right.
Take it. They just take it. It's my client now. That is not the way. We want lawyers that are going to be on our deal team that know that we've put the deal together, we've structured the deal points in the letter of intent. Their job is to take those deal points into the asset purchase agreement or the stock purchase agreement.
Right.
Not to fight over little things, create obstacles where there weren't any obstacles, make a small rock a big rock, and all those kind of things. Right? So I've had to interview hundreds of lawyers to find the ones that I can work with that'll come alongside us as the head deal maker. The quarterback of the transaction is me. They're part of the team, but they're not going to take the deal over. Not under my watch, because when they do, a lot of times they'll draw lines in the sand the business owner doesn't care about, and neither do I. The deal terms are the deal terms. They have to work alongside us. We work together. There's a problem, they call me immediately, and we diagnose it and we get back on track. Because there's just a lot of landmines in the legal process of these deals. I hear story after story. I go to M&A Source twice a year, at least once a year. I go down, it changes where it's at. It's in Vegas in October. I'll be going to M&A Source. There's 200 to 300 M&A advisors, and I hear horror stories about deals blowing up in legal in the last 1, 2, 3 weeks of the transaction. Right.
So what do you do when you have a seller who already has an attorney that they've used for all their other business matters?
Great. That's a great question. And we get that a lot. You know, if it's a family lawyer, we advise them that we need an M&A lawyer, a lawyer that's got tons of experience, like Steve Clemens, who I use on every deal. We need somebody like Steve Clemens that will diagnose, that will always call us when there's trouble, will the big rocks are the big rocks, small rocks are small rocks, that makes sure their job, and they know their job, is to get to the closing and wiring of funds. And protect the client. I want them to be able to protect the client. They need to protect the client. I'm very protective as the lead deal maker, and they need to be the same. You know, they need to think of it as if there's no trouble in this deal after closing, they've created, they've designed, they've edited a document they can defend.
Yeah.
Right. We're only going to have trouble if there's trouble. I would say that less than 1% are going to have trouble. But when they do, and there's litigation, you want to make sure you had a really good lawyer that dotted the I's and crosses the T's. We've got about a minute and a half. If you're a business owner and you need representation, if you're in the middle of a deal, we talked about this last week, you're in the middle of a deal, you already have a deal, you still need a lawyer. I don't care where you are in the process. If you're just thinking about it, you're really thinking about it, you've already engaged someone else, maybe you broke that relationship off, you need representation. We're top 1% in the United States. I don't mind saying that. We're really good at what we do. We've got a great championship deal team. What I'd like you to do is text me your name, number. I'll give you a complimentary copy of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value, including Chapter 12, Lawyers, Deal Makers versus Deal Breakers we're going over. And you'll get the whole book signed by me. I'll get it to you. Give me your name, your business type, and hit me on my direct mobile cell phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Look, last thing I want to say about lawyers, there's good ones out there. I've met them. They're the best. We work with, I think, the best lawyers in Texas to serve business owners the right way, to get them to get that business transferred efficiently and effectively into the new entity of the new buyer, but also protect our seller in the event that 1% happens, that 2% happens, and there's some kind of litigation and we're going to court or arbitration or whatever. So I have a lot of respect for lawyers. I love lawyers. I just want to get with the deal makers, not the deal breakers. So if that makes sense to you, again, cell phone, hit me right now, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Jenny, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Business owners in North Texas, welcome back to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I'm Michael D. Rubin, CEO of MDR Associates. I'm in the studio with
Jenny Swain,
our Chief Financial Officer. We're going over my book I wrote last summer that I'm giving away complimentary for the first 5 people right now to text me. This book will tell you how to increase value in your company, show you our process, the process of selling companies for maximum value. Hit me on my direct cell phone, direct mobile phone at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type, and how we can help you, and I'll get you a book. We do all the calls of people that have inquired. We've had over 32 inquiries off the radio first 11 weeks, and we make those calls tomorrow on Monday from 10 a.m. to 12. So, but just give us a call. If all you want's the book, I'd be glad to get it to you. Jenny, we just talked about lawyers, Chapter 12, lawyers, deal makers versus deal breakers.
Right.
We have a great deal maker at our firm. His name is Steve Clemens. He's closing our second landscaping transaction this year. It closes on Monday. He's doing a great job.
We did a podcast with him.
We did a podcast with him. Yeah. If you want to check out the podcast, that's a great point. Go to YouTube, put in Sell Your Company for Maximum Value, and you'll pull all 8 of them up. The 9th one's being created. We're going to talk about where we give as a firm at the end of this show. And the 9th podcast is going to go up in about a few days. Our website is sellmycompanynow.com, www.sellmycompanynow.com. That's the website for MDR Associates, and I'm the CEO. We're going over the book. We just went over lawyers, deal makers versus deal breakers. I really want to talk to business owners right now, because there's deals out of our 230 that blew up.
Right.
They blew up.
Not many.
Not many. Seller changed his mind, didn't want to sell. That's okay.
Right.
Right. Buyer wasn't qualified. We picked the wrong buyer. That doesn't happen very often. I think picking a buyer is the biggest thing, because you're gonna, you have 60 inquiries like we did on this appliance service. You're down to 6 of the top buyers to introduce to your seller face to face. You pick one, you've just blocked out the other 5 offers.
Yeah.
It's exclusive when you sign an LOI. So you pick the wrong buyer. We've probably done that once or twice. Because somebody, sometimes buyers are liars. They won't tell you exactly how much money they have. They won't tell you their credit score. They'll lie. Oh, lying about credit score, maybe. Or being qualified with SBA. So some people have definitely got over on our firm a couple times.
Yeah.
But at some firms, you sign the wrong LOI, it's 50% of their transactions don't close.
Right.
And so it's super important. So why? The biggest reason deals don't close, let's talk about that. We have 2 minutes or so, 2 or 3 minutes right now.
Okay.
The biggest reasons deals don't close is picking the wrong lawyer. It's this chapter.
Okay.
Fastest way to blow up a deal: get a lawyer that is not a deal maker. He's a deal breaker. He's going to draw lines in the sand, create big rocks where there should have been small rocks, not look for the solution. Our lawyer, Steve Clemens, he'll call me immediately. Stop everything when there's a problem. Call me.
Yeah.
With the problem.
Right.
and the solution.
Yeah, he came up with some great stuff the last couple of months.
And the solution. Mm-hmm. So I know, I can tell. I tell you what, I want those of you to email me if you've been in a situation where a deal blew up for any reason, but specifically if it was a lawyer and just kind of got out over their skis, as my old partner used to say, got out over his skis, kind of took it upon himself to make your decisions for you.
Right.
Email me at michael@sellmycompanynow.com, michael@sellmycompanynow.com. Maybe there's a way we can put that deal back together. Yeah. Because that's what we do, right? We find a way to put the deal together. And most really good lawyers, and there's bunches of them here in Dallas. I know a bunch of them, but there's also a bunch that don't look to close, don't look necessary to get over all the humps, maybe don't have your best interest. It's every career path, whether it's a plumb, any kind of career. Mm-hmm. There's people that are all about that customer, and there's people that are all about themselves. Yep. I've interviewed hundreds of lawyers. If you've had this situation, or maybe you need my advice, I'm going to start giving my email out as well. Mm-hmm. Email me at michael@sellmycompanynow.com, michael@sellmycompanynow.com. Any questions, anything I can answer around the subject, please let me know. But right now, before the break, real quick, I'm going to give my cell phone, 469-995-6060. Text me if you want a free copy of the book, including Chapter 12, Lawyers, Deal Makers versus Deal Breakers. Sell your company for maximum value. Text me at 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060, your name, your business type. Jenny, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. All right, welcome back, business owners, North Texas. Michael D. Rubin from MDR Associates in the studio with
Jenny Swain. Should I put my middle initial in there too?
Jenny on the block.
Jenny K. Swain.
Jenny K. Swain. Jenny on the block. I want to take a second for our listeners. I don't think we've done this in a while, and I really want to take it kind of to a personal level. I started selling businesses in 2008. It was the worst time to ever sell businesses. I fell in love with the baby boomer business owners that we protect and we serve, like the one we had today in our boardroom. Yep. I got emotional. I actually teared up. I was looking at, I teared up. I was talking about, the buyer said, man, you're really fanatical about how you represent these business owners. And I am. Yeah. I am. I love this couple. And I looked at them, I said, I love you guys, but we're a Christian firm. We're going to love people. We're going to love them. I mean, I've said it many times in the last 12 weeks, haven't I? Yeah. At our firm, my family, first of all, our firm at MDR Associates is about two things, faith and family. My life first is Matthew 6:33. Seek the kingdom first and his righteousness, and everything will be added. You know what my paraphrase to that verse is? What? Take care of daddy's business, and he'll take care of yours. Mm-hmm. I look at my business that way. It's all his anyway. Right. It's all his. Yeah. My business, my home, any asset I have, I know you guys are financially doing really well, Jenny. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Middle, upper class, doing great. Guess what? It's all his. That's right. It's all his. It puts it in perspective. Yeah. We talked about giving, right? Let's get into that. We give to 3 organizations. We give to St. Jude because I think it's a great organization. And then we had the 2 that we really focus on our podcast. It's coming out in a few days on YouTube. If you want to go to Sell Your Company for Maximum Value, there'll be 2 organizations. We're going to have them in the studio, hopefully in the radio over the next few weeks. Mm-hmm. One of them is Amazon Outreach, led by Steve Trammell. Amazon Outreach has been going down to the Amazon, serving the forgotten people of the Amazon, saving their lives with water wells, optometry, dental work, presenting the gospel, really bringing light to a village that's had nothing but darkness and death. Right. They've been doing it for over 20, 25 years. They've sent hundreds of thousands of people down there on their triple-decker boats, and it's just hope. Is Steve Trammell from Trammell and Crow? No. Steve Trammell totally was a guy that had a church, full-blown senior pastor of a large church, gave it up, went on a mission with Amazon Outreach down there. Uh-huh. They were going through some financial troubles about 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. Steve Trammell, it's on the podcast, he goes over this. Okay. He came in, saved the organization. Now they have almost a $3 million budget this year. They're taking 35 different trips down to the Amazon with the idea of what? Bringing hope, fresh water by building water wells, and light. You can reach them at Amazon Outreach, AmazonOutreach.org, I believe, or .com. It's one of the 2. Okay. Steve Trammell. We give a portion of every success fee to that. Every year we're supporting Amazon Outreach continually because I think I heard about the mission. I've seen pictures of the mission. I hope to go down on a trip. A friend of mine Randy went down there, came back with the information. I just got on fire with it.
Yeah.
And MDR Associates is going to support that. The second organization we support is Leah's Kids.
Yes.
I met Leah in a networking event about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She went out to the front desk and said, "Are we the only 2 Christians in this networking group?" I said, "I doubt that."
Right.
She goes, "It seems like we are." I said, "Well, let's make a difference." She says, "Well, what's the strategy?" I said, "Well, every time I'm supposed to talk about MDR and Associates, I'm going to talk about Leah's Kids."
Mm-hmm.
And I stood up and she started bringing pictures. And so what does Leah's Kids do? Leah had cancer as a child in her left eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And she stands with families that gets the horrific news their child's going to die in a week.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 30 days. They have terminal cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And she stands with that family for healing, stands there for hope. Does a crowning party. They're $1,000 each to donate to a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
That potentially has terminal cancer.
Right.
It broke my heart when I heard the story and what she's done. She's dedicated her entire life. She was a first grade schoolroom teacher for this last year, and she's dying to go back to Leah's Kids full time. We support Leah's Kids every year. We've sponsored children. Leah was up talking to the president in the White House about a year and a half ago, and has this initiative and is writing children's books to kind of aid in their healing.
She throws parties for them.
She
right?
throws parties,
That's
crowning
right.
parties.
Yeah.
She puts a robe on them and a crown. It's a Christian organization.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how she stands with these kids that are literally. Their family just got the most horrific news ever. You can go to them at Leah's Kids, and again, I think it's .org or .com, but Leah's Kids, you look it up. Mm-hmm. Support them. It's awesome. We do it with every closing, every transaction, every year. We're donating to those 2 organizations in St. Jude, and what I would say is our heartbeat of our firm is to give back. Our heartbeat's to look over our fence, see a need, and just go meet that need. And I'm telling you, in our society, in our nation, I look around, that's a needed thing.
Yeah.
So it's for me, with the giftings that God has given me to close deals, get to yes where no one can get to yes, like I want to serve business owners in that capacity, hand them that. I don't care if it's a $800,000 smaller transaction or an $80 million transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the guys that I serve and girls that I serve, my business owners, those baby boomers, they go into church work and mission work full time. I would say over 50%. So, yeah, we're a Christian organization all about faith and family. If this is really resonating with you, you want to connect, get a complimentary copy of my book, hit me on my direct mobile phone. Write this down, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. It's all his anyway.
That's right.
All of it. So I don't look at it as giving. I look at it as giving back. And the Lord straightened that out with me when I got saved April 19, 2004 at Gateway Church. Everything changed for me. And so from that moment till now, I look at my 2 boys. They're 27 and 24, and they're godly men. And that, to me, they're both married. My oldest has our 2 grandchildren. Brooks is 4, Dylan May is 1. Mm-hmm. They came over a couple days ago. They came over last week on Sunday. And I got to tell you, that's the true riches in life. What we own and who we are and our firm and our business and how much we make and where we live and what we drive. Let me tell you something.
Oh, no. Sound effects.
Mothballs. I remember I went to my prior church. I went to Paul Pogue's ranch. You know, Paul Pogue's the guy that builds all the stadiums, all the schools.
Okay.
Prosper High School, Allen Stadium. That's Pogue Construction. Mm-hmm. That's Paul.
Uh-huh.
We went out to his house. I don't know how many thousands of acres he has, and we're all standing around 70 men. He said, "Look around. There's, I don't know, thousands and thousands of acres." He said, look at all this. Look at this barn. It was a barnuminium. We're sitting. It had 18 bedrooms. We're all in. 70 men are about to go to sleep because it's all mothballs.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. And you know what? You've been building a business. You want to go and absolutely smell the roses, slow down, stop making the donuts is chapter 1 of this book.
Enjoy your grandchildren.
Enjoy your grandchildren. Like today, the 77-year-olds. I want to travel to Italy. Yeah. Man, I want to get them to Italy so bad. It's personal to me. It's very personal.
Yeah.
You're just the same way. I see how gracious you are with people. Right. I see how you treat our clients as our CFO. I think I think I'm pretty good at poker playing. I'm really good. I think you're awesome at the numbers. Between you and I think we've got a dynamic team, a championship deal team. If this makes sense to you, and you're thinking, you know what, I wasn't really thinking of selling, but now that you mentioned all that, it sounds pretty tasty. Pretty nice. Sounds pretty tasty. Hit me on my direct and mobile cell phone. Someone said, you're giving out your cell phone on the radio? I said, heck yeah, I am. Founder to founder, hit me on my cell phone, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. Give me your name, your business type. I'll give you an introductory call. I'll give you a complimentary opinion of value and a complimentary copy of this book as I'm writing book number 2 in the next couple months. I'll have it done in a couple months. You have my commitment on the radio. I'm saying it on the radio. Book number 2 called 4 Quarters is coming out. I love the business owners that we serve. You guys are my superheroes. That's chapter 1 of the new book. Yep. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with our show. It's not brand new anymore because it's 13 weeks in. Sell your company for maximum value. Folks, we'll be right back. Welcome back, business owners, North Texas. This is Michael D. Rubin with MDR Associates, founder and CEO, in the studio with my co-host and CFO,
Jenny K. Swain.
Jenny on the block. All right, you still call me the Bulldog? You came up with that like week 1 or week 2. Is that sticking?
You know, I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
I can kind of get bulldog-ish.
You can. Sometimes I have to use my hand to go, calm down, calm down, calm down. Speaking of, I had at my high school reunion this weekend.
Oh, tell me about that. Well, that's a 30. Was it your 20th? Folks, I know it was her 30th.
Everyone's doing the math. 18 plus 30. Now we know.
She's 48. No, she's 48.
The one of my classmates where we had the house.
Yes.
He has the cutest English bulldog. I thought of you.
You saw the bulldog with the shoulders up in front of his face, walking towards you. I don't understand that. And you thought about me?
Oh, man.
You thought about me?
Well, I just made the connection. Like, wow, I saw a bulldog this weekend. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to know a little bit about this new book that you keep on talking about. So how is it different from this one you've got going on right now?
2 weeks ago, we went down to our Cabo men's trip for the 10th year in a row. We took one of our ambassadors, 6'9", Ed Too Tall Jones, with us. Can you believe that? Okay. He made a stir in the hotel. I mean, it was a big deal.
People recognized him.
Was that Ed Too Tall Jones? Is that Ed Too Tall Jones?
Really? They recognized him.
It was crazy. Huh. And anyway, he was in the cabana. We're sitting there. I'm at the swim-up bar with Todd Hutchinson, our VP of Client Engagement. That, by the way, is a writer, producer, movie producer. He's very creative. And Todd says, you need to write another book. I said, heck no, I'm not writing another book. Are you kidding me? My book days are over.
I'm done.
I didn't even think I was a good writer until all the clients have been saying it's a great, kind of an easy read, great book. It helped them get ready to sell their company. I was like, really? Because I didn't think I was even a decent writer. So anyway, Todd says, you need to write another book. And he describes the 4 quarters of an M&A transaction. First book was about process. How you pick a firm, when's the right timing, how do you increase value, lawyers, right, closing, due diligence. Okay, process. 4 quarters is about the psychology.
Okay. So what does that mean?
I mean that means that business owners aren't ready psychologically to sell their company.
So what's quarter 1?
Quarter 1 is how we get the engagement. When they're feeling us out, we're feeling them out. They're very difficult to get these 12, 15 engagements a year that we serve. They have to be psychologically ready. And so the first quarter is before we even sign the engagement. Ask me about the second quarter.
Tell me about the second quarter.
Second quarter is after we sign the engagement and before we go on the market. That's what you're here for, Jenny on the block.
But what do you mean, the psychology?
There's a lot of psychology. I mean, some people don't send you their financials.
Do you mean like what you're thinking and what they're thinking?
The psychology means not process. What is a business owner thinking? How do they let go of their baby? The 77-year-old I just sat with in the second meeting we had with a buyer today, or this week, I should say this week, we're sitting there in the boardroom. And I asked him, I said, are you psychologically ready to sell? He goes, no. This is my baby. Yeah. This is all I know.
Right.
I know I need to. I want to. I've lost a step, he said to me. And the buyer. I've lost a step. I built it as far up as I can. I built it as high up as I can. Yeah. I need someone to take it to the next level. If that's you, and you're a business owner, and you're driving around, this starting to make sense to you, Our heart is a Christian heart. We don't want to do a deal that doesn't bless you, the buyer, and the kingdom of God. We don't even want to be involved. But if this makes sense to you, especially if you're a believer and you've built a great company, we sell companies from 1 to 50 million. That just means 500,000 net income all the way up to 5 million net income and greater. Then even 300,000 net income. So I would say 300,000 to about 5 million in net income. If that's you and you're doing, 2 million in gross or more, 1.5, 2 million or more, you've been around 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you're at that retirement age, you're getting to retirement age, and you're thinking, I need this book first, and I need a discussion, because conversation's free. I tell my kids all the time, conversation's free. Hit me on my direct cell phone at 469, right now, 469-995-6060, 469-995-6060. I'll get you a complimentary copy of my first book. When the second one comes out, I'm sure I can get you a copy of that as well. I will not sell these books. I give them away for free.
So quarter 3, quarter 4, just so we can close the
Quarter 4 is after we get, so quarter 3, we talked about quarter 1, quarter 2. Quarter 3 is it's listed and we're qualifying buyers.
Okay.
The psychology of qualifying buyers, what the buyers are looking for.
Okay.
Quarter 4 is we've gotten an offer, we're in due diligence, we're going to legal, and we're going to close. 4 quarters to win the game. Trust me. It's just the same as Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White won a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. This is the last time we won a Super Bowl. I mean, I'm glad they're on our team. I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
When you sell someone's company for maximum value confidentially, you maximize value, minimize risk like we do at MDR Associates. When you do that, trust me, it's like winning a Super Bowl. Those business owners think in their heart of hearts, I've won the Super Bowl if I can sell my company successfully. Sure. Carry on continue to carry on that generational legacy. Stop making the donuts. Slow down and smell the roses. Start traveling, fishing, golfing, spending more time with spouse, children, and grandchildren. We've got 20 to 30 seconds. One last time. This is the last time I'm going to give my private direct mobile phone out, folks. If you're out there, this makes sense. I want you to right now text me on my direct mobile, 469-995-6060. I'll give you a complimentary copy of the book right now, 469-995-6060. My email is michael@sellmycompanynow.com. Our website is sellmycompanynow.com. Folks, until next week, we're going to go over where they are now. Where are my clients now? We're going to talk about success stories. Might even have a business owner call in next week on week number 14.
Okay.
From now till then, what do we always say at the end of the show to business owners?
Be blessed.
Be blessed, everyone. We'll see you next week.